This is how to actually stick to your goals and finally lose weight. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole and this channel is all about health, wellness, and designing your dream life. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the reason why you continually try and fail to reach your goals and how you can actually lose weight. Now, I'm with you on this one. Every single year I set a New Year's resolution that I'm going to be the best me that I can be and lose weight and get healthy. And every single year I start out strong, I go to the gym multiple times a week, I eat really healthy, and then slowly over time I start to lose it, or I trip up and then I get discouraged, or I don't see results so I don't feel like I need to be going. But then because it's still a goal of mine, I'll start again at a new month or a new week. And it ends up being this cycle of eating chocolate and crap on the weekends and then telling myself I'll start again on Monday. It's a vicious cycle, and I know that a lot of people can feel stuck. It can be really hard to break out of these sort of habits and this loop. So as part of my own health journey, I've been really interested in the concept of habits and behavior change and how I can actually make myself stick to the things that I want to do. So I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of research, and listening to experts into this topic. And there are lots of different tips and tricks and strategies that you can be using to do this. But basically what I've learned, and the secret to all of this, is that it really comes down to your mindset. So if you think about it, we keep getting stuck into this loop because we keep trying to change our habits with the same mindset every single time. We keep saying, this time I can do it, but then ultimately we fail again. So in order to break this habit loop, we need to change our mindset and change that level of conscious thinking that's getting us to the same results. Have you ever heard of that quote that says, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? And that's exactly what we're doing. We're repeating the same habits, the same behaviors over and over again, expecting that we'll have more willpower and more discipline this time. But then ultimately we don't. So that's when things started to make a bit more sense for me. And I heard this quote that's attributed to Albert Einstein. And the quote goes, "No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it." So basically what that means is that we need to change our conscious and subconscious mind in order to actually see results. So how do we do this? I have created a very simple but incredibly powerful exercise that you can use to help identify your mindset and your level of consciousness around this topic. It's super easy, so don't worry, you don't have to get up and move your body. I just want you to sit down and close your eyes. Okay, are your eyes closed? Now, what I want you to imagine is that you are at an all-you-can-eat buffet. I want you to see this very clearly in your mind. Picture yourself walking amongst the aisles of food. What do you see? What do you hear? And what do you smell? Imagine the other people around you. Imagine that you go and pick up a plate and you start to pile the food onto your plate. I want you to take some time and very clearly see exactly what you're doing. Once your plate is full, I want you to imagine that you go find a table somewhere in this restaurant and you sit down to eat. Once you very clearly have gone through this visualization, I want you to open your eyes and write down everything that you put onto your plate. After you've created the list of foods that you put on your plate, I want you to score yourself on 0 to 10. So how healthy was the food that you ate? 0 being not healthy at all, 10 being extremely healthy. Next, I want you to score yourself on your level of satisfaction on the food choices that you made and that you ate in this visualization. So 0 being not satisfied at all, 10 being extremely satisfied. Once you have your list of foods and your scores, I want you to think about how would this change if the context or the environment was different. Did you imagine that you were eating alone or with your partner or with your family or with your friends? How would that have changed if you were in a different scenario? Would you have eaten the same foods if you were alone versus with your partner versus with your friends? What if you were on a first date? Would that be the same? Now, what this exercise actually does is provide us with some clarity around our identity. Let me explain that a little bit. Let's say you identify as a painter. Well, what does a painter do? They wake up in the morning, they sit down at their easel and they paint, and they spend the majority of their time painting or thinking about painting or buying paint materials. It's part of who they are, and they don't feel any resistance towards doing it. And it doesn't matter if they do a good painting that day or a bad painting that day. It's the fact that they got up and they tried to do it. It was a no-brainer for them that they were going to sit down at their easel and do some painting today. Now, I'm not a painter, and you might not be either. So for somebody like us, if we try to get up in the morning and sit down to paint, it would be really hard for us because we don't identify as a painter. We have to put a lot of conscious thought into making that happen. Our environments would be set up differently as well. A painter will already have their canvas and their easel, their brushes and their paint set up and ready to go. They'll be easily accessible. Whereas for somebody like me, I would have to go and buy all of the supplies. I would have to set up my easel, set up my canvas, and it would take a lot of effort for me to do that and then sit down and figure out what to do, what to actually paint, how to do it. I might have to watch some videos on it. So how does this actually relate to losing weight and hitting our health and fitness goals? Well, for some people, you might think that for them it is very easy to get up and go to the gym. Well, why is that? They identify as somebody who goes to the gym and is healthy. So for them, same as with the painter, it's a no-brainer for them that they're going to go to the gym today, or they're going to go for a walk and exercise. But for somebody who doesn't identify as an exerciser or a healthy individual, it takes a lot more conscious effort and thought towards making that happen. Okay, now to bring it back to our exercise that we did. I want you to analyze what you've put onto your plate and think about from the perspective of the healthy person, like the painter. If you identified as a healthy person, would you have picked the things that are currently on your plate? When I did this exercise, I put a lot of macaroni and cheese, or cheesy pastas, or chicken fingers, other types of juicy meats, and I would put a small amount of salad and vegetables on, but usually even the salad had some sort of creamy dressing, like a Caesar salad with bacon bits and croutons. Sometimes I would go up for seconds, and then when I had desserts, it was often the chocolatey, creamy sort of desserts with maybe a handful of grapes and some watermelon on the side. That is what I did in my visualization. So analyzing that, would a healthy person have chosen those foods? Would somebody who identifies as a healthy individual, who exercises and eats properly, have chosen that to put on their plates? Probably not. It does let me know that I'm at least aware of the fact that I'm not choosing the most healthy foods. I did try and have a salad. I did pick some fruits with my dessert. So when I rated myself on how healthy this meal was, I picked about a 4. And when I said how satisfied I was, I picked about a 2. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that somebody who's healthy can't have macaroni and cheese or can't have chicken fingers. But the fact that the majority of the foods on my plate were considered unhealthy showed me where my priorities lie. This channel and my philosophy on health and nutrition revolves around the concept that everything goes, everything can fit. If you want to have chocolate, you can have chocolate. If you want to have cheesy pasta, you can have cheesy pasta. But it's really about finding that balance and having the majority of your food choices in your health choices be towards healthy side of things. For a long time, I thought that I identified as a healthy person. I played a lot of sports growing up. I played almost every single sport that my school offered. But then I would come home and I would sit down on the couch and watch TV and eat chips. But I thought that I was being healthy because I was participating in sports. But again, let's examine that from the perspective of an identity. There were other girls on my basketball team that instead of coming home and watching TV, they would go back to their houses where they had a basketball hoop and they would practice the things that they felt like they still needed work on. Maybe they missed that 3-point shot during practice, so they'd come home and continue to practice. We both played basketball and we both participated in the practice, but one of us came home and was lazy and the other one came home and continued to practice. That tells me that one of us had the mindset of an actual basketball player and the desire to get better, whereas my perspective and identity was more around participation for the sake of playing the sport. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't really a part of my identity. So to summarize this, I hope you now can realize that you need to change your mindset and change your identity in order to change the things that you want to change. If you want to go to the gym more consistently, or you want to eat a healthier diet, you need to change your mindset and your identity around that. Otherwise, you're going to be continuing to be stuck in that habit loop. I hope to, in the future, do more videos around this to help you with your mindset and help you change your identity so that you can get unstuck and get out of that habit loop. One thing that you can start to do today is imagine your healthiest version of yourself. And when you have a choice to make, imagine what choice the healthiest version of yourself would make. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up and leave a comment in the section down below. I would really like to know what was on your plate and how healthy it was. If you'd like to see more videos just like this one, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can know when my videos are going live. I upload new videos every single Sunday. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.